Hey everybody, Conscious Medium Brandon Russ. I'm going to dive right into it. I want to give a heads up and a shout out to one of my good close friends here in spirit and the work that we do, Beth and Soul Sparrow. Click on her link below. She gave me a really great heads up on this. She was doing some chart analysis and she floated this one to me. I want to absolutely give her credit as I dive into the analysis of what's going on with Brittney Griner. And it's an interesting thing. You always look at the personality types and what's kind of going in there and where the resolve is, especially for somebody in this situation. And those of you that don't know, she's just been sentenced to a 9-year sentence. There is symbolism in that number, 9 years, the end of a cycle. And then, and then she is basically being thrown into the political pawn game, and the president, Joe Biden, is actually talking to the Kremlin or whoever it is that they front over there to discuss a release for Brittney Griner. And of course, it's going to be some sort of prisoner swap, whatever. And Brittney Griner is not a political figure, but not necessarily someone that you're gonna, we're not gonna invade Moscow over. If it was Michael Jordan, it might be a little different. But Brittney Griner's had a great career. She's an incredible WNBA player. She led Baylor, I think, to the championship game in the NCAA in the early 2010, 11. Again, I'm going off the top of my head here, but she plays for the Phoenix Suns, Mercury. Sorry, I go back and forth on that. Sun, Mercury, it's all right in here. Kind of funny. Let's do her astrology. She plays for a team named the Mercury. I'm not even sure if she's still on that team anymore. But anyway, she was in Russia to actually do some summer league stuff or some winter league stuff to get warmed up for the WNBA season, and she gets picked up. She's got like residue in, she's marijuana residue, which is perfectly legal where she was coming from, perfectly legal use, but you cannot bring it into Russia. And they made a big deal about it. They made a huge deal about it. Basically, trumped it up to, and I use that word on purpose, to be a trafficking charge. So, taking a look at her chart, I want to tell you why Russia picked the wrong person. I want to tell you why Brittney Griner is actually going to drop trow on this. Now, I'm not belittling the fact that she has been in jail for 7 months. I'm not taking any of that out of context. But there is absolute true mechanism here. First of all, Brittney Griner's birthday, she is a Libra. And by the way, she's a Life Path 11. I don't talk a lot about Life Path. I probably should talk a little bit more about it. As a Life Path 11, it's really a 2, so it's kind of like in combination. This also alludes itself to really partnering well. It's also an 11, so it's a divine energy. It is a divine energy. Let me say that. And by the way, there are 2 ways to get to the number 2 in numerology. It is 1 plus 1, which is also the 11, and then it's also the 2 plus 0. She is the 1 plus 1 variety. Now, her sun sign sitting here in Libra, she is a double Libra. Dude, she is an outthinker. And by the way, I know that all these powers have been taken away from her. She's had a sham of a trial and all that other stuff. But she's got the wherewithal to have the patience to wait this out. There are some interesting things about her planets. Now, one of the challenges about working with public figures, a lot of times you can't get their date of birth. It's something that I've been really annoyed with, and I really think should be in a national database, but that's besides the point. But in her case, without that, we can't necessarily talk about the house or the rising. So I'm really going to put a lot of emphasis on the fact that she is a double Libra. That is that she has the patience to wait this out, and she also knows which side is right. In her chart, right out of the gate with her moon and her sun, she is somebody that is going to go up against anybody, anytime for the right reason. By the way, she was very much about the LGBTQ community. She was all about defending for those rights. She's also about the rights of women paychecks in the WNBA versus men's in the NBA. She was an advocate on a lot of different levels. Now, I'm not necessarily speaking to her politics here, but it doesn't surprise me that she has this, knowing that she's a double Libra. And by the way, she's got it upstairs. She is bright cookie. Don't let the tats fool you. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, I don't like the way the tats look. That's your bias. This is one smart cookie. Now, let's take a look at some of the planets here. I want to take a look at, how this is. And by the way, she couples very well. And you'll see this where there's 2 bunches here, where you've got the sun, moon, you've got Venus, you've got Pluto. Like, you're working all together here in a way where she really kind of knows who she is, right? Her Venus, she's partnered very well. Her wife has been fantastic and a great advocate on this. And she is in pure conjunction with these 4 planets. You have the personal planet in the moon, you have the personal planet in Venus, you got Pluto sitting here going, oh my gosh, we're going to kick ass and take names, right? So the dynamic here that we really have to pay attention to, and I mean really have to pay attention to, is that this is somebody that knows who she is. This is somebody that's going to be able to say, oh no, I know exactly who I am, and that was wrong. Russia may have picked the wrong person to try and bully for this, because I'm not going to be surprised if she goes actually into the back channels and say, don't use me as a pawn. I'll wait out my 9 years. Listen, I'm not wishing this on her. I'm just talking about it plainly. Because her Neptune, her Capricorn action here is insane. You want to talk about somebody that's grounded and got her shit together? I'm sorry. Again, don't let the tats fool you. Don't let the social construct get in your way. The idea that she's sitting here with Uranus and Neptune and Saturn in this conjunct, and it's a wide conjunct for Saturn to Uranus, but they're all going to play off of each other because they can both latch on to the Neptune. Neptunes are about dreams. Saturn's about structure. Uranus is about the rebellion. Guess what? Long time coming. And oh, by the way, her North Node's sitting in Aquarius. She is going to be doing something for the greater good. Russia, memo to Russia. You're going to lose Ukraine. You're going to. You may think you've won. You're going to spin that you won, but it's a military loss. It was a military loss when the war hit 3 weeks. You're picking a fight with somebody who is destined to bring about the greater good. And if the greater good is about calling out your BS, you have picked a fight with the wrong person. Because now I'm going to tell you that the wider piece in this girl's got stamina. She's got stamina. Whether she's playing a 60-minute game, I'm not really sure how long WNBA games are. I've watched about 10 minutes of it my entire life. I'm the problem. Her Jupiter is sitting in Leo. Her Mars is sitting in Gemini. Let me tell you what that means to me without knowing the houses. And again, you're taking away one of my tools here, but the tool I am going to tell you is that when Jupiter is sitting in Leo, these are people that are determined to blow shit up, right? They're going to be somebody that goes, yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah, hold on a second. Oh, you think so, huh? Okay. And again, it's a generational thing because you've got this window here in the early 90s where Jupiter was sitting in Leo for better part of minus the thing, carry to 1, about a year. So during this year, if you were born during this year, you've got Jupiter in Leo. They don't put up with guff. They also call things out on a regular basis. Now, the Mars and Gemini, this can work for you. This could work against you. She can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And this is where she's going to drop trowel on them. With Gemini, you've got the duality of the two faces. You've got the idea that you think you're smart enough. She is a thinker. And by the way, she is also very practical, right? Now, her North Node is obviously short of her South Node. Now, it's not shown here, but naturally, if her North Node is in Aquarius, her South Node is in Jupiter, or is in Leo here, which would only lend itself to, at a minimum, be a wide conjunct, if not a complete conjunct, or a full conjunct. So her natural state of affairs is to blow shit up. That doesn't make her destructive, mind you. That is her to go, I'm going to get there. Her technique, you've got to look at what goes on with Mercury. You've got to take a look at what goes on with Venus, where her sun is and everything else. Well, that's sitting in Libra. That is the slow tick, my friend. You know, you can say that it looks like the scales, right? Libra looks like the scales. On the flip side of that, it also looks like a bomb. Libra has the ability to not only outthink, outflank, and outmaneuver, but when they get behind enemy lines, they are lethal. I'm going to say this, Brittney Griner is going to be set free at some point. Sooner than later, certainly not the 9 years. But she's going to look at them and say, you think you can break me? I am one tough mother. And she is. This Mars and Gemini is going to kick their ass. Because she's going to be like, we're friends, right? Yeah, we're friends. She's going to befriend them. Everybody's going to love her. She's going to turn them. She's going to turn them inside out. This is a complete injustice. Let me continue by saying that. This is Russia overreaching, blah, 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 blah. The fact that we're negotiating with terrorists. Did we not learn anything from Air Force One? But they're negotiating with terrorists right now. They're terrorizing another country in Ukraine right now. They are terrorists. We're negotiating with terrorists for Brittney Griner. Unfortunately, or fortunately, she has the right combination to not only put up with this, but to be strong enough and come out ahead. Brittney Griner, I don't think you'll ever see this. I don't know if your camp will ever see this. But anybody that has an ounce of red, white, or blue, and not nationalism, not that ill-fated BS, but that part when we see somebody that worked hard, that actually embraced the American dream, became the best that they could, and took advantage fully of who they are in this world, we see you. We are behind you. We are absolutely going to revel in the idea that you're up front. I will tell you, as someone, as a medium, as an astrologer, and by the way, your grandmother's actually protecting you. As an astrologer, I'm going to tell you that if we were to take the time to combine this with what's going on with Russia, go ahead and click on the other videos where we bring up Russia and some of the stuff that's going on here. They have an internal conflict. You are going to play a role in somebody's unbecoming. Is Brittney Griner going to take down Putin? I'm going to tell you this much. She's about to expose an entire regime that's not worth their salt. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And Brittney, we're with you. Free Brittney, everybody. I want to thank you guys for liking, subscribing, sharing it with everybody. Stay tuned for some more stuff coming up. Oh, and by the way, go ahead and click and sign up for my free class on Monday. It's Signs from Loved Ones, so then you can incorporate spirit into everyday walk of life. Thanks again, guys, and remember, keep going.